This is a video I was not expecting to make, but of course this is a topic that I was not expecting to come up in the meantime. Basically, we've got leaks and rumours now. The leak is for the Galaxy Note 10 Lite. This is a phone that has been tossed around here and there, It is supposedly coming in Q1 2020, and it'll probably come out alongside the S11 and S11 Plus, although it will be outdated sort of in the sense, so we'll have to see what they do with that. So we'll go through the specs and then we'll talk about it. So it'll have Samsung's One UI 2, obviously, because the phone's got the update for that a few weeks ago. So it'll be in line with all the other Samsung phones that have been out. It'll have Android 10, like most modern Android phones now, but don't expect many updates, like most Android phones. The CPU will be the Exynos 9 AC10 from Samsung, and it'll have Snapdragon 855, potentially 855 Plus, but a wild card would be the 865, which was just announced. So there is leeway in there for them to do some stuff with it. Well, we'll have to see. The Exynos processor is probably going to be the one that will be released, because this is probably not only going to be in international markets or potentially just US markets, because of it's not a very popular idea in some markets. It'll probably just be for South Korea and India, countries that don't necessarily spend a whole lot on their phones, where OnePlus is dominant in those markets. And maybe Apple will be branching into those markets with the SE2. There's going to be on the screen, it's going to be a full HD plus display and 214 by 1080 pixels, like the Note 10, and not the Plus. So there is going to be a differentiating factor there between the Note 10 Plus and the Note 10 Lite. It'll have 398 pixels per inch and HDR and the blue filter option for night mode. So good options there. There's going to be a triple camera, so that will be the regular wide angle, telephoto lens and ultra wide. There's going to be a 12 megapixel camera for the main camera and an f1.7 aperture. So that's a really nice aperture, probably for low light photos, for night mode, that kind of thing. We're also having 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, f2.2 aperture. So not the greatest aperture, but most cameras that have ultra wide now, they're not the best aperture. Okay, they're not. Even the iPhones or the Huawei, they don't have the greatest aperture on the ultra wide. That's just the way it is, The wider you go on a subject, the less it is. But that will most likely be accommodated for with night mode, which hopefully will be a big step up from the last night mode that Samsung had, because that was utter crap. No offense to anyone who likes this, it's just my opinion. And it'll have the telephoto lens, which will be 12 megapixel, 2 times optical zoom, 2.4 aperture, and as for usual, the more you zoom in on a subject, the more likely it is to get a bit more blurry and a bit more, and there's less light being let into the frame. So that's all about that. Front camera is supposedly going to be a 32 megapixel front facing camera. Will that happen on the budget model? I'm not too sure, to be honest, but we'll have to see what they do with it, because they could surprise us all. It's going to have an under display fingerprint sensor as well, which will be an unusual move possibly, because the S10e last year didn't have an under display fingerprint sensor. It had it built into that power button, so we'll have to see how that goes. We'll also have an S Pen, because obviously it's a Note 10 Lite, so you can expect an S Pen from it. And that's pretty much it. Now, that's The battery as well will be a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, and if that happens, it'll be insane and crush the competition. So it'll have a 25 watt USB charger in the box as well. Hopefully fast charging, but Samsung's generally been good about that. This has to be priced correctly. If it's not priced correctly, it will not sell as well as they hope it will. And I personally hope it does sell well, because it'll bring some new light into the competition and tell people, you know, we need to have some diversity in this competition. Happy Christmas.